Most people will live and die as background noise. They'll follow trends, obey emotions, chase approval. But not you. You didn't click this video by accident. You're here because something inside you refuses to be average. You're here to become untouchable, to sharpen your mind like a blade, until the world is forced to notice. Watch till the end, and I'll rewire the way you think, not emotionally, strategically. This is how dominance begins. You want to rise above the noise? Then think sharp. Like a blade that never dulls. This world doesn't reward softness, it punishes it. People admire confidence, but they obey control, and control doesn't come from screaming, it comes from silence, precision, strategy. Most people speak too much because they think too little. They react. You observe. They seek validation. You already own it. When you walk into a room, your presence should speak before your mouth does. Why? Because you carry one silent belief in your mind. I am the best. No one is better than me. That's not arrogance. That's alignment, an internal contract with your higher self, a refusal to shrink around lesser minds. A sharp mind doesn't panic. It plans, it watches, it strikes when the time is right. It isn't loud. It doesn't need to be, because power that's real is quiet. If you're ready to step into that power, comment this below. My silence is a weapon. My presence is pressure. This is just the beginning. Control your thoughts, and you control the game. Think sharp, stay sharp, and never let them see you break. Number 1, command the frame. There's a law no one teaches you until you've already been crushed by it. Whoever controls the frame controls reality, and most people are trapped inside someone else's frame. They react, they explain, they defend. They don't command the moment. They survive it, but not you. From this point on, you own the frame. Every room, every conversation, every conflict, yours to shape. This is where the predator mind begins. What is the frame? It's not what's being said. It's the meaning behind it. It's the psychological lens through which people interpret you. And here's the truth. He who defines the frame defines how others feel, act, and think around him. Let me give it to you straight. The average person walks into a room looking for cues. Am I accepted here? Is this safe? Do they like me? And just like that, they surrender the frame. They've already lost. But you enter a room like a strategist enters battle. You don't react. You read. You adjust. You don't try to fit in. You set the tone, and they either rise to meet it or shrink in your presence. This is not about manipulation. It's about dominion. Commanding your space, owning your silence, making your energy feel like a question mark no one can answer. The frame is unspoken, and that's why it's powerful. Your stillness, your eye contact, your calm refusal to rush. These things bend reality around you. Someone disrespects you. You don't flinch, you reframe. You don't explain, you withdraw. You let your absence do the damage. That silence, it makes people rethink their entire posture around you. If someone tries to control the conversation, let them talk. While they bleed words, you collect power. And when you finally speak, speak slowly. Every word should feel like a loaded gun on the table. You don't raise your voice, you lower theirs. Remember this, emotion is noise, logic is control, desperation is weakness, stillness is pressure. When you command the frame, you make others orbit around your gravity. You become the center, the sun, and they, whether they like it or not, begin to revolve around your light or burn in it. So here's your test. In the next conversation you have, say less, move slower, make them fill the silence, and watch how they lean in just to decode you. Now drop this in the comments to signal you're done reacting and ready to control. I own the frame. I don't chase meaning. I create it. because this is how mental dominance begins. Next, we go deeper. Number 2, starve the weakness. What you feed grows, what you starve dies. Your weakness has lived long enough. Now, we kill it. Starve the impulse, starve the comfort, starve the inner child, begging to be saved. Because the version of you who wins doesn't beg, he builds, in silence. Weakness is not a moment, it's a habit. A quiet agreement you keep signing every time you scroll for distraction. Every time you explain yourself, every time you feel something uncomfortable and run from it. But here's the truth. Comfort is a cage disguised as care. Weakness is not loud, it whispers. And the most dangerous part? It sounds like kindness. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired right now. I deserve a break. Lieutenant, Lieutenant, Lieutenant. Weakness doesn't just show up with failure. It shows up with compromise, and compromise is death in disguise. You think they beat you because they were better. They beat you because they resisted. You prove silently that you are not built like them. So start starving the version of you that needed excuses, that needed comfort, that needed someone to believe in him. Because now you believe in silence, you believe in pain, you believe in war. Drop this in the comments if you're done feeding weakness. Starve weakness, feed dominance. Because your future is built by the pain you embrace, not the ease you chase. Number 3, speak less, control more. The one who speaks least controls the room, because when you speak less, you leave space for others to expose themselves. They reveal their fears, their pride, their weakness. But you remain unreadable. And in a world desperate to be understood, mystery is power. Every word you speak is a transaction. It costs attention, energy, leverage. The more you talk, the more you pay. And most people bleed value through their mouths. But the wise, they speak like kings, only when necessary, and never without weight. You want power? Learn this. The less you explain, the more they wonder. The less you react, the more they lean in. You don't have to respond to everything. Not every opinion deserves your reply. Not every insult deserves your defense. Most people speak to escape discomfort. Silence makes them anxious. They start rambling to prove something, to fill the void. But you sit in silence like it's your throne. Because you know, silence makes people uncomfortable. And the one who can handle that discomfort wins. When you speak less, you're not passive, you're strategic. You watch, you listen, you let others reveal their intentions while you remain unreadable. That's how you stay 3 moves ahead. In negotiation, the first to speak is the first to lose. Say less and watch them scramble to fill the space. They'll overpromise, over-explain, overexpose. In conflict, don't raise your voice, lower theirs, lower your tone. Make them question themselves, not you. Silence is not weakness, it is pressure. It makes people reflect, doubt, panic. It forces them to seek validation, while you sit calm, cold, calculated. And remember this rule: when you speak, speak with direction, not to be liked, not to be heard, but to be understood or obeyed. You don't need to win arguments. You win by refusing to argue at all, because silence says, I'm above this. I don't chase approval. I control the narrative, even when I say nothing. People can't figure you out if you don't give them the script. And that mystery, it's addictive. People fear what they can't read and respect what they can't manipulate. From this point forward, let your stillness scream. Let your silence speak in volumes no one else has mastered. Let your presence control the room. Comment this below if you're done bleeding power through your mouth. Silence is pressure, and I make people feel it. And watch how quickly your words start to matter when your silence becomes legendary. Next, we enter one of the darkest forms of psychological power: Number 4, use absence as leverage. Presence builds interest, absence builds value, but only if you've built yourself into something worth missing. You want control? Then stop being so available. Stop giving your energy to people who haven't earned it, because your absence is a currency. Spend it like a god. Here's the harsh truth no one wants to hear. The more available you are, the less powerful you seem. The more they see you, the less they feel you. And in a world addicted to constant contact, those who master absence master gravity. This isn't about ghosting, it's about value preservation. People chase what they can't fully have. People respect what they can't fully understand. So what do you think happens when you disappear? Without explanation, without drama, you become a myth. Not a person they can scroll past. Your silence becomes deafening. Your absence becomes a mirror, forcing people to sit with the echo of who you were. Understand this: distance creates clarity, and when you step back, the right people notice. The wrong ones reveal themselves by how quickly they replace you. But you don't flinch. You don't beg. You withdraw with power and let your absence speak for you. Absence makes people uncomfortable. They'll start asking, did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me? Why haven't they replied? Good. Let them spiral. Let them chase. Let your withdrawal apply pressure they can't touch. And in relationships, this is king. Stop being always on. Stop replying instantly. Stop being predictable. You want to test someone's loyalty? Vanish. Not out of emotion, but out of principle. Not to punish, but to observe. The people who matter will come closer. The ones who never valued you, they'll fade and save you the trouble. Now listen carefully. Presence is how you gain attention, but absence, that's how you gain power. They only start appreciating your silence when they realize how loud it was. And don't explain your absence, ever. Mystery is more terrifying than confrontation, and nothing is colder than someone who disappears with zero emotion. So next time you're tempted to over-explain, over-text, over-show, stop, pull back. Let absence speak louder than anything you could have said. You are not a notification. You are not background noise. You are the main event, and main events don't show up uninvited. If you're ready to become high value through silence, comment this below. My absence is leverage. I disappear with purpose. The ones who panic when you vanish were never ready for your presence in the first place. Next, we evolve into something colder. Number 5. The predator. Mindset. Predators don't chase everything that moves. They wait, watch, calculate. They conserve energy while the herd panics. Then, when the timing is perfect, they strike. No hesitation, no mercy, no second chances. That's the mindset you're about to build. Not reactive, ruthless, not emotional, surgical. The predator mindset is how you stop surviving and start dominating. Understand this: the predator doesn't hunt because he's hungry. He hunts because it's his nature, and if you want to rule in silence, you need to develop that nature. Cold, still, calculated. This is where your transformation begins. Most people are impulsive. They react to everything. They get triggered, distracted, provoked. Their emotions move before their thoughts do. They live like prey, but not you. You learn to pause, to hold, to wait. Because the most dangerous man in the room isn't the one pacing, it's the one sitting still, thinking 10 moves ahead, saying nothing. This is how you win, by watching people give away their strategy, while you never reveal yours. They speak, you listen, they panic, you breathe, they show their hand, you wait. You use their noise to sharpen your silence, their chaos to structure your calm, their weakness to time your strength. This is dark strategy. This is mental warfare, and you win without raising your voice because you're too far ahead to fight fair. A predator doesn't react to provocation. He reacts to opportunity. He doesn't move unless it's worth the energy. You want to destroy your competition, then outlast them. Let them tire themselves chasing instant gratification while you're quietly building an empire in the background. You don't need to impress. You don't need to explain. You just need to observe until it's time to strike. And when you strike clean, with logic, with force, without emotion. This mindset doesn't need approval. It doesn't need recognition. It only needs discipline, timing, and silence. Train like a ghost, move like a shadow, think like a killer, because the more emotionless your decisions become, the more lethal your actions will be. And remember, predators don't growl. They wait in silence. Then they end it fast. If you're ready to stop chasing and start calculating, drop this below in the comments. Still, silent, calculated, let the herd run. You don't need speed, you need vision and one perfectly timed move. Coming next, a deeper layer of control. Number 6, emotional coldness is power. If they can control how you feel, they already own your mind. That's why emotional coldness isn't a flaw. It's a fortress. You don't rise by being unbothered when it's easy. You rise by staying calm when the world spits chaos in your face, and you don't blink, because emotional control is not suppression, it's domination. You were trained to believe emotions make you real, but most people, they're slaves to how they feel in the moment. They collapse under pressure, they lash out, they vent and regret, and every time they react, they bleed control. But the Stoic turns that fire inward. He forges it into discipline, into armor. Understand this. Emotion is not the enemy. Attachment to it is. You feel anger? Good. Now let it fuel precision, not chaos. You feel pain? Good. Let it sharpen your edge, not dull your focus. The world will test you. It will insult you, betray you, abandon you, and you will be tempted to break, to scream, to beg, to prove. Don't. Never let them see your soul shake, because once they know they can get to you, they will. Emotional coldness is not about being numb. It's about being strategic with your energy. You don't give reactions to people who haven't earned them. You don't explain feelings to those who only weaponize them. You build a wall inside, not to keep love out, but to keep weakness in. The Stoic doesn't need the world to validate his pain. He doesn't turn suffering into theater. He turns it into silence, into power, into fuel for the war within. And here's the brutal advantage. People trust calm more than truth. People fear cold more than rage, because calm feels in control, and control is the language of leadership. You want to dominate a room, show zero emotional disruption when everyone else is falling apart. Be the one who breathes slow when chaos erupts. Be the one who doesn't need to be loud to be heard. And when people try to get a reaction from you, don't give it. Watch them panic, because your cold silence reflects their inner disorder. In a world addicted to expression, restraint is terrifying. You want to be untouchable? Then don't let your emotions walk around unclothed in public. Guard your rage, control your joy, hide your disappointment, own your grief. Make your mind a place no one enters without permission. Comment this below if you're ready to freeze out your weakness. Emotion obeys me. I don't answer to chaos. Because when you master emotion, you don't just survive the world. You bend it around your stillness. Next, we turn inward and unlock the root of power. Number 7, dominate your inner world. You can't rule anything until you rule yourself. You can't lead others if you still lose to your own impulses. Your mind is the battlefield, your thoughts are the weapons, and if your inner world is chaotic, the outside world will expose you. Dominate the inside, and nothing outside can break you. This is the foundation of the Stoic predator. Every battle starts in the mind, long before it reaches the world. Distraction, doubt, fear, they don't come from out there. They rise inside you. And if you don't learn to choke them at the root, they'll keep owning your decisions, your time, your future. Domination begins with rituals. The world sleeps in, you rise before dawn. The world scrolls, you train. The world reacts, you plan. You don't wait for motivation, you move with orders, issued by the version of you who wins. That version doesn't care how tired you feel. He doesn't beg for comfort, he builds in the dark, brick by brick, while no one's watching. You want power? Then earn it in private. Earn it when there's no reward, no applause, no crowd. The world is loud. That's why your inner world must be quiet, unshakable, minimal, focused. Clean your room, cut the noise, burn the distractions. Build mental routines like weapons: daily silence, cold exposure, brutal training, reading, stillness. Not because it's trendy, but because each act is a signal to your subconscious. I am in control now. Not the fear, not the chaos. Me. You don't need external motivation. You are the source. You've trained your nervous system to obey your will. When you dominate your inner world, you don't fear rejection. You don't crave approval. You become self-fed, self-sufficient, self-commanding. Other men look for signs. You create them. Other men react to pressure. You train inside it. And that's why your calm feels different, because it's not surface level, it's not fake zen, it's forged from pain, from repetition, from silence. This isn't about being at peace with the world, it's about becoming so internally unshakable that no external force can move you without your permission. Comment this if you're ready to win the real war, the one inside. My mind is mine, I rule the chaos. Because the real weapon isn't the body, it's the man behind the mind, and that man answers to no one but himself. Up next, we go deeper into identity and rewire your destiny. Number 8, identity is destiny. You don't rise by acting different, you rise by becoming different, because you will always act in alignment with who you believe you are. Your identity is your operating system, and if it's weak, no strategy will save you. You want to change your outcomes? Then change who the hell you are. This is not mindset. This is identity transformation, and identity is destiny. Here's the truth most people run from. You cannot outwork a weak identity. You cannot win long-term if you still see yourself as the underdog, the failure, the maybe one-day guy. You get what you believe you deserve, not what you wish for, not what you post about, not what you fantasize in the mirror. You rise when you decide to, and that decision must come from a new identity, one that no longer accepts mediocrity as normal. You want to think like a killer, then kill the version of you that hesitates. You want to walk in like the best, then rewrite the story in your head. Not, I hope I succeed, but I walk in like I've already won. Because when your identity shifts, so does your body language, your voice, your silence, your presence. This is how power is built, not in tactics, but in truth. Who are you when no one's watching? Who are you when it's cold, quiet, and lonely? The weak cling to fake confidence. They memorize affirmations they don't believe. They posture online, but internally, they're still playing small. Not you, not anymore. You begin walking as if the world is already yours, not from arrogance, but from alignment. Because when you train like a warrior, speak like a tactician, and move like a ghost, you no longer hope for results. You expect them because your identity now demands it. The difference between a lion and a sheep, it's not genetics, it's self-concept. One is programmed to hunt, the other is programmed to follow. So ask yourself, what identity are you embodying right now? What story are you living on repeat? Now destroy it, and rewrite one that terrifies the world, because it's undeniably you. Repeat this to yourself daily until it becomes your signature. I am not becoming great. I already am. The world is just catching up. And when you operate from that belief, everything changes. Silence becomes more powerful. Words hit harder. You stop chasing and start commanding. Comment this if you're done playing the old version. I walk in like I've already won, because when identity shifts, destiny obeys. Now comes the final transformation, the final layer of cold, unbreakable power. Number 9, untouchable. You don't announce that you're untouchable. You become so controlled, so disciplined, so strategically cold that the world realizes it on its own. You don't scream your power, you breathe it. You don't chase respect, you force it. And when you master everything we've built in this series, you reach the final form. You become untouchable. What does untouchable mean? It means your mind is no longer accessible to emotional games. Your time is no longer on sale for cheap approval. Your energy is no longer wasted on things beneath your mission. It means you don't respond to disrespect with rage. You respond with distance. It means you don't react to noise, because you are the signal. It means you've made your inner world so fortified that no insult, no betrayal, no storm can touch it without permission. You've stopped chasing closure. You've stopped seeking understanding. You've stopped trying to be seen, because now you see yourself. You move like a ghost. Feel nothing that doesn't serve you. Speak only when it matters. Disappear when it's time to strike. And here's the truth. The world only respects power that's proven in silence. That's why you don't brag, you don't debate, you don't explain your vision to people stuck in theirs. You let your absence echo louder than their words. You let your calm tighten their throat when they try to provoke you. You've trained when no one watched, suffered when no one cared, bled in silence, and turned every scar into strategy. You've mastered stillness in chaos. Now, you are the chaos. You walk through rooms like a god wearing skin, not because you want to be worshipped, but because you've finally learned. The only approval you ever needed was your own. So now people can doubt you, they can ignore you, they can envy, mock, misunderstand, and it doesn't matter, because the old you would have tried to fix it. The new you just smiles, walks away, and never returns. That's untouchable. Drop this in the comments if you've completed your transformation. I am untouchable, and I choose to stay sharp. Let them talk. Let them chase. Let them wonder. Because when you master your mind, your silence, your strategy, you don't need to be loud to be felt. You become a presence, and presence never begs. If this series changed how you see yourself, then don't keep it quiet. Like the video. Subscribe to Stoic Mate. Turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more minds like yours, cold, calm, untouchable. Welcome to the few. Welcome to power. Forever.